here. Barbara Renaud Gonzalez was a monthly columnist, I might add, an award-winning monthly columnist for the op-ed section in the San Antonio Express News for about 5 years, during the mid-1990s to the early 2000s. Some people used to say that she wasn't a columnista, Spanish for columnist. She was a calumnista, a bilingual, a calumnista, a bilingual wordplay combining calumny, a false, slanderous, or malicious statement, with columnista, meaning that the truths she wrote about were sometimes so hurtful and scandalous, they seemed like lies. They were not. Blurring the borders between literature, journalism, essay, history, memoir, and short story, Las Nalgas de JLo, JLo's Booty, is a non-fiction collection of columns, articles, reviews, and poems, most of which were written by Renaud Gonzalez during the years 1995 to 2005. While the majority of the 61 columns and articles included in this book were published in the San Antonio Express News, many were published in other national newspapers and magazines, and some were unpublished due to their content. A disclaimer as an introduction and an adiosation and afterward as a despedida are also included in this collection. Renaud Gonzalez is an important and dynamic Chicana Latina voice tackling such hot-button subjects and issues as racism, sexism, homophobia, immigration, sexual abuse, drugs, the environment, war, politics, love, and more. Her powerful and authentic writing style, humor, and biting political satire and sarcasm make for perfect commentary on the cultural and social justice issues of our times. Please welcome Barbara Renaud Gonzalez.
I am writing this as Donald Trump is about to become president of the United States.
Boom!
He started his campaign by accusing Mexicans, people like my mother, Mexican immigrants, as rapists and criminals in one of the vilest attacks against other people I've ever heard from any political leader. He started with us, and then went after Muslims, women, the disabled, Black Lives Matter, and kept going. My mother, Marina, crossed the border by walking across the bridge in Brownsville, Texas in the late 40s. Mexican workers were needed at the time. It was after World War II. I wrote my novel, Golondrina, Why Did You Leave Me?, based on her story. My mother was seeking freedom and love. She crossed many borders in her life and expected all her children to do the same. The ones born here and the one left behind. Mommy never found love, but she did learn that love can make you free. She encouraged me to speak both English and Spanish, to return to Mexico and visit our homeland, to respect all immigrants, and most of all, she taught me that there are two sides to everything, especially the Alamo. My mother, a nurse's aide, a woman who made the best tacos in the world and understood that this country is a paradox, Mommy knew that America's greatness was built on genocide, slavery, and colonialism. And she understood that she came to the US because she wanted to have a chance, respecting my involvement in the civil rights movement and the Chicano movement, because she wanted me to have that chance too. And she also wanted me to give that chance to others. Consider this the obligation of the bloody foundations of our greatness. As Latinas, Chicanas, Hispanics, mestizos, we are a living paradox. The Native American children of rape, pillage, conquest, genocide. This is the story we must tell over and over again to the larger society. And we must explain how it is possible to forgive, to honor, to flourish, to embody the integration of all the world. Because we have the whole world in our blood, in our culture. This country doesn't know our story, and it is up to us to tell it. We know it's possible to speak many languages, to honor many dances. We know the pride in having curly-haired and blue-eyed cousins at the same time. But the larger society is afraid of our diversity. We must tell our story of sharing land with the people who believe it must be taken by force. This country was never meant to be white. It was meant to be something else. And we cannot repeat the mistakes and greed of the past. My Tejano father taught me this. With this book, I want you to understand resistance and the price of that resistance. But I also want you to love yourself so that you can love others. I hope I will not be in jail in the next decade, but who knows? You and you and you. Yes, you. I want, you to carry on and tell our story 1,000 times, in 1,000 different ways, until this country listens. Break their hearts wide open with your story. It is the only way to heal this country. And the world is listening because they are here around the circle of fire too. Afterward, December 2, 2016. Thank you. This is a dream come true for me. It is a beautiful thing to be in San Antonio and write, and it can be a hard thing sometimes because the more one reads, the more one despairs sometimes. And then at the same time, one is gratified for all the beauty that surrounds us and being around people like you. I want to take a moment to thank Cruz Ortiz. I don't think he's here tonight because he did the art for the book. Yeah. So, thank you. Thank you, Cruz. I know you're listening somewhere. And I want to thank, of course, the Esperanza Center, who supported me for at least seven long years while I wrote here and did my piruetas and did all kinds of crazy things, but they put up with me and I learned from them. So thank you, Graciela Sanchez and the Esperanza. Thank you, Gemini Inc. for sponsoring. Also, because many of you don't know it, I have an MSW, but I also have kind of my own MFA from Gemini Inc. Macondo was kind of like my takeoff, and then, of course, the MFA has to be from Gemini Inc. University, and I encourage all of you to also learn. If you want to write, come into the door. You will be welcomed with open arms. I want to say, and of course, Aslan Libre Press for telling our stories. We need to be the publishers, just like New York. We need to be the New York publishers of the Southwest. Thank you. I want to say that I go to Poland every summer. My brother, former Peace Corps type of guy, lives there. He's taken me to the death camp in Lublin, where over 80,000 people died. And the Jewish community has always been prominent in not letting people forget the Holocaust, right? But we have our own Holocausts. We are joined in the suffering of wars, invasions, discrimination. We know border crossing. We know. We are joined with all these communities that have suffered at this scale. And that's why we must create our own publishing houses. We must tell the stories on our terms. The reason I went with Aslan Libre Press was because they get me. They understood me. I am not going to change my language to make New York happy, and that's what they want. I'm not going to do it. You know, we need to recognize that our story can be told on our terms in our own way. We must support the publishing houses and the writers who tell them, and the stories that will become plays, films, movies, statues. It begins here, right here. That's how I began. And the women you're going to hear from tonight are also in a position to do that for you, for all of us, very soon. 20 years ago, I came here to write the story of how my mother crossed the border. It became the first Chicana novel published by UT Press under Chicana Matters. Thanks to Antonia Castaneda. I am proud to add my name and the artist. You will hear from 3 different writers and a surprise guest star in the making. And I want you to understand that from then you will hear the story of resistance. Because the stories are our weapon. Okay? And I want to also recognize that of all of us, there is a woman, a good friend of mine who passed away a month ago, or a little over a month ago, who was a peleonera and believer in the fight. She loved to fight. And that was a former board member, Mariana Ornelas. So I'm dedicating this reading to her. So thank you.